how far are we and how important is it, and how do you decide when you're just, dividing resources, limited resources, how do you decide, is it 50-50 to prevention treatment? How do you make that decision?
Yeah. Well, for us, I think what's important is to understand that we need both of those. We need both early detection and we need the therapeutics. And we hope that it's all moving forward synergistically, and we do our best to kind of shepherd that and nudge it that way. If we don't have early detection, we can't, as you heard in the earlier panel, kind of find those individuals that are on the pathway. Because ultimately, we don't want to be diagnosing people who already have a dementia. We don't even want to be diagnosing people who already have mild cognitive impairment. We want to be tracking this and making sure we address it as very mild, subtle symptoms start to happen, perhaps in our 50s. So if we don't have early detection, we don't pursue it, we're not going to get there so that the therapies can be applied earlier and earlier, which is what cancer has done, elongating life by a few months to years, and even more remission and cure. That's the page we're going to take out of that book.
And Carl, when we look at cancers, the immune system, which you are very familiar with, is really sort of presented in the blood. How close are we to really being able to pinpoint usable, viable markers that will help us to detect cancer early enough where perhaps something like a CAR T therapy wouldn't be necessary?
Well, as you know, there are both familial cancers, which can be, and there are clinics now, the BRCA1, BRCA2. Laura Essman is going to talk about some of that later today for female cancers. And so that can identify a population at high risk. Then the other kind are so-called blood biopsies, which is, as you're relaying to, which is the ability from small samples of blood to detect evidence of either circulating tumor cells or the DNA or RNA, the nucleic acids that tumors make. And that, if it begins and there's early data that looks like it works, will then allow detection of cancer before and become part of a routine physical.
And you were earlier talking about